Hi, this is Mike Mangini, and you're watching Progrock Digital.
Mr. Mike Mangini, welcome to Progrock Digital. How are you, man?
Great. How are you, Nicholas?
Fantastic, fantastic. I've got to say, man, first and foremost, congratulations on the solo album Invisible Signs.
Thanks.
You've just released the second single off the album, Not Drowning, and the album's due for release in November. Do you have a,
Yeah.
a date for that in November, or is that still up in the air?
No, it's early mid. I'm just waiting to announce it at a few things associated with the actual party that's going to
Yes.
happen. So I want to
Right.
get that right.
Yep, fantastic. Why the solo album, and how did you come up with the album name Invisible Science?
Well, years ago, Steve Vai told me to make an album, and over time, I kept thinking about what to do. And I really was, I was playing instrumental, complicated music pretty
Hmm.
much, and I got busy, but I did try some incarnations after I decided that I would try to bring like that drumming thing
Hmm.
to a more general audience. But I know that you can't really do that when you have music with meter changes so much,
Yep.
because the meter changes do, there's an area of the brain that has to be activated for people to start to enjoy it. I mean, that might be, people listen to time change music, they grow up in a house, so they get used to it. But the point is that the area gets activated. I'm like, most people don't want that. And as far as that don't know, like, any of the musicians or whatever.
Yep.
So I wanted to make music where it fit, that had a straight up beat. And I had friends in the business and at record companies. And at one point early on, I decided what I would do with riffs and big beats. And a female singer is what hit me initially,
Hmm.
that all came full circle. So like none of this is an accident or just like whatever. It's not like that. It's like something was premeditated the whole time, but you can't always make it happen. So that's how it came about. um an interesting thing about this is, once I woke up early one morning hearing the song Habit to Change, but it's got to be a habit to change, clearly in my head, which is bizarre. I don't know how that happens. That's the morning I decided to pursue it. And it took a while because I had to learn music software in a different way. I had to learn about virtual instruments and, stuff like that. I mean, it's like, look at this day and age. I mean, I can't just be somebody practicing my drums. I barely do it. I have barely done it in, like, I don't know how many, like 2 decades for the
Hmm.
most part. I mean, I dabble now and then, but I'm not a drummer that practices
Yep.
like you used to. I put so much time in, but you got to be a lot of other things too. And or I have had a family and all kinds of things. There aren't enough hours in the day, so I have to figure out where I'm going to put them. Point being, that's how the album got birthed. Was okay, I'd like to do this kind of music. And I'm into reading things that excite me about how stuff works.
Yep.
Anything like how does it work in us? What are we and how do we work? That's where my system rhythm knowledge came from, and that's why it works as well as it does, because I address those things. And anyway, that stuff's not good singing. you know, um, Physics and math and things that I've always enjoyed, like they were a big puzzle.
Hmm.
You don't know what attracts you. Sometimes you just kind of know that it does, and you go with it. And then when you come up with, I don't know, challenges, you want to complete them. You want to
Yep.
get through them. So
Yep.
you
Yep.
get it. I mean, I could go on and on, but the point is, that's an accident. It was formulated. I specifically didn't want to do um, instrumental or prog stuff or drummy drum guy stuff, because there's so many of those that I enjoy listening to. I'm like, well, let me do something else with this instrument. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
the question was, can I sneak it into a song? Because I used to try to do that in cover bands. Now, like, for example, playing Billie Jean in a cover band, of course, I'm sitting there and my brain's going like, it's like a hornet's nest with things buzzing of ideas. And, of course I didn't just sit there and play it straight. I turned the beat around and I thought it was funny. People, you know, I didn't exactly know where the beat was, but I just did it just to engage the band and kind of make it turn
Yes.
around as well. But you did the job. But anyway, I'm always dying to play my stuff in songs that translate in that way. As much as I've enjoyed the challenge of, wow, this is tough stuff to learn. I would like to play that music. I would like to be in that band. I would like to, actualize this and use these chops, but not for my solo albums. That's why it is what it is. And that's why the lyrics are, like Not Drowning. I had put on the my YouTube post of that, or ours, my team's, the
Yeah.
media. And if you read what it is, it's really complex stuff. It's like it's like a controversy surrounding quantum physics, and it didn't sound right to talk about that with this music. Now I have other ideas where it does sound okay to talk about that. It does sound okay to make the lyrics not as simple as they are, but I did it on purpose. So I just know I'm going to get, and knew I was going to get a few surprises. Like, this is not what certain people expected. And yes, I know that. Well, it's not anything special in this way. Okay, fine. Or, the lyrics are like simple and whatever. Okay, good. I mean, it's like they're saying all the things I want said about it.
Yep.
Because it's just, you get my point. It's sharing. It's why I teach. I don't know. So you heard both the songs.
Of course. To me, they're catchy. They're in your face. They're up tempo. Not Drowning is, but to me, it's non-progressive. So whoever's out there thinking that they're going to get a Dream Theater Mark II album or anything like that, forget that. I mean, I love it, man. So from what I've heard, it's great. And, the album name came from weather.
It what? Say that again.
The album name, the name of the album. How did you hit that one?
Oh, that's from noticing all the patterns in like every aspect of life that keep surfacing, like the Fibonacci sequence and the snail shape that reflects prime numbers, and the golden ratio that's the same in I think every skeleton, and that sequence is the same in every tree, or most, whatever. I'm a layman with this. So if someone goes, oh, that's not true, it's like, yeah, okay, fine. But like, look at it, that's not the point. The point is that I just noticed patterns, and there are signs in it. There are signs in behaviors. There are signs in everything. And like, what it means by invisible is just that it's not recognizable until you engage your mind a certain way, and then you see.
Yep. Now that's a very good point, and that leads me to my next question or my next comment. A lot of what I'm hearing from your recording is very spatial. It's very 3D. It's almost, and I could be totally wrong, but it's almost environmental. When you start honing in on an area, other things start popping up, and it's, to me, that is the gift that just keeps on giving. It's fantastic.
Thank you, because it was hard to do that with this kind of music. It's easier to do that with it. You expect it, but I used the company Heaviosity makes this just the most incredible sounding virtual instruments. It's just outrageous. And so many people that write scores for movies use their software, and for good reason. So I thought it would be cool to fuse that into the music, because maybe the lyrics are simple on the surface, but you go in a little bit and you go, wow, that's about, deep inside is about the nature of the environment we exist in,
Yeah.
like the universe, like what's deep inside. And I've used different quotes from people and things like that. But anyway, I'm glad you said what you said, because that software is meant to induce stuff. I mean, for example, um, in working with Jordan Rudess in particular, he just had certain ways of making me visualize things, and I mean, I think that's extraordinary. That's extraordinary, especially, okay, well, he's known for his lightning playing and abilities and all that, but there's this other side. It's like, wait a minute, I'm seeing stuff. So anyway, that's inspirational. And I just when I got the software, it made me want to incorporate it. And those guys, Neil and Dave at the company are friends, and they've been and still are so helpful to me, to get me through. Like, I'm sitting there going, all right, wait a minute. I was a software engineer for 4.5 years, programming in old school languages. No one's even going to know the names. I was looking at octal mathematics and printouts at a later stage. What I'm saying? It's like really deep, like way deep in there. And I'm sitting there looking at this Windows thing, going, what does this button do? And I'm trying to see the code in my head. I'm just like, it's almost like a detriment to understand it on a deeper level, is they just miss common sense stuff. So I'm like, help.